Welcome to Soul Knowledge. I'm your host, Rocky K of Tune Into Wellness. We are souls having a human experience, and this podcast is where we remember that. Your soul has lived lifetimes. It has a history, a purpose, and a wisdom that goes deeper than anything your mind can analyze. My work through Reiki, hypnotherapy, past life regression, subconscious healing, and intuitive transformation is to help you not just learn about your soul, but to actually know it. Here I'll be sharing real stories from real sessions, lessons from the unseen, and truth telling about what healing really looks like. The messy, mystical, holy, human, sometimes hilarious, often uncomfortable, absolutely life-changing parts of it all. And I'll warn you now, if you don't like the honest language or the occasional well-placed F-bomb, this is not the podcast for you. Because sometimes the most spiritual thing you can say is, fuck this, I'm done repeating this pattern. So let's take a breath. Tune in. Let go of what you think you know. And let's drop into the wisdom your soul's been trying to give you all along. Welcome home. Welcome to Soul Knowledge. If you are looking for someone to fix you, this might not be the space you expected today. But if you're here to remember who you are, then welcome. I am Rocky with Tune Into Wellness, and this is the Soul Knowledge Podcast. I have been thinking a lot lately about why I do what I do and how I do it. And so today I want to talk about that. I'm going to share some real stories about how I show up in my business, and they weren't necessarily very easy ways. They were pretty good lessons. And so when I work with people, I am really intentional about not letting them be dependent on me. And when I say not dependent on me, I don't encourage my clients to come see me every week. I don't encourage them. They don't even have to come see me once a month. You know, I leave that ball in their court to come when they feel like they need it. Okay. And everybody's journey is so different. And so for me to say you have to come see me X amount of times and a certain amount of time, that's silly because everybody's journey is so wildly different. And I think it's a real disservice when people in the healing and helping space are like, this is what we got to do. And this is how often we got to do it, because we're not cookie cutters. We're not cookie cutters. And it's a shame when we try to make people feel like cookie cutters. So I don't do this because I don't care. And it's because I really genuinely, I care so much more deeply for you and your long-term ability to overcome the hard shit that happens in life. So there's a lot of pressure, like high pressure energy in the world of healing and coaching. You know, they all say you got to have so many sessions. You're not done yet. You'll regress if you stop. Like, okay, let's just say that's kind of a lot of a bullshit. And you stay in a container, you'll lose momentum. You know, there's like so much pressure to do and do and do and stay and keep working and striving. And if you listen to my last podcast, like winter's the time to rest. Like, you don't necessarily have to be doing anything. Really, you just need to be charging your body, doing the things that nourish your soul. And, you know, this works for someone, and that's okay. All right. So I'm not trying to discount the people that do this, because there are purposes, and those molds, or I don't even know what you would call it. I'm going to say molds for lack of better words. Those do fit some people, but it doesn't fit everybody. And so that's why I don't have things set up like that, because I want you to learn how to trust your body, trust your soul, trust your heart, to know when you need more and how you need to show up. And so I just want to kind of tell some stories about some of my teachers. And the first one I've talked about before, this was the lady that introduced me to hypnotherapy. She introduced me to Reiki, and it was really a hard lesson with her. So She did so much in my life. She really helped me through some of the hardest seasons in my life. And I leaned on her, man. I relied on her. And she kind of became like my anchor. And then she died. And when she died, I was completely lost. And I remember thinking, like, what do I do now? Like, who do I turn to? Like, how do I get through the next hardest thing in life? And I went searching externally again and again until it finally hit me. I am the one who is always going to be here. And I don't know what life has done for you, but I know what life has done for me in the past. And I have been my own constant. You know, it was in that moment that I was kind of like, yes, like I am that one that's always here. I've done so much on my own, even growing up as a child. I worked through all my schoolwork all by myself. I rarely ask anybody for help. As a business owner, I've always worked for myself, by myself, not relying on other people. And I've always known that, like, I am the one person that I can truly, truly rely on. And I don't know about you, but I am the type of person that always hated group projects because there was always that one person in that group that was not pulling their end. And dude, that would piss me off. Like, I need like stability, I need reliability, and I need to just have this really great solid foundation. So I had just for so long been outsourcing my power, my safety, my trust. And that realization was actually kind of terrifying and then incredibly empowering. And I promised myself that I would never build a practice where someone felt that kind of loss if I disappeared. Sure, there's going to be people that will miss me because I do make really strong connections with my clients. Like, I really kind of become friends with my clients. And I know some people say that's like a big no-no in the professional world, but let's be honest, like that is not who I am. Like when people come in and they continue to come back, like I build connections with them. Like even from a first session, like I genuinely care and love. Like, and I'm not saying that word lightly. Like I really care and love my clients, and I care about their outcome. So her death easily could have broken me, but instead I let it teach me. I let it become a lesson on sovereignty, in my inner knowing, in my self-trust. And that is how I honor her, by making sure her impact didn't end with her life. I want people to leave sessions with me feeling so much more connected to themselves. Like, not more dependent on me, but connected to themselves. And there is a difference. And that is what I teach people. Like, I want them to trust their inner knowing, trust their self, honor their instincts, not mine. Okay. And then let's talk about this other teacher that I had. Okay. We have two people that have really guided how I show up for my clients. So the second lesson came through another practitioner that I loved. She was an acupuncturist, and I genuinely adored her. Like, I thought like she'd be kind of my like person forever. I was like, man, this is like my little witch doctor. And I'm like excited that I'm going to have this person in my corner, the one that'll go through every season. And then life hit her hard. She was grieving, and she was also like expanding her business, and she was really overwhelmed, and energetically I could totally feel it. Like I understood it. And so like when I would come into these sessions, she was half there. Like I could feel her lack of full presence because I had been with her for so long that I could feel the difference. And I felt a lot of it. She was going through the motions, present, but not totally present, right? I had so much grace for her. because I knew she was really going through a lot, and I didn't want to discount that. So I did give her a lot of grace. And so really that was never the issue. I understood she needed that space. But over time, I was pushed on to another practitioner. And while that other practitioner, she was cool. Like, she was really great. I genuinely liked her, but she wasn't my person, right? And that experience taught me something deeply important. Showing up halfway is a disservice. And no matter how good our intentions are, it's a disservice. And I cannot do that to my clients. And so I appreciate both of these teachers teaching me these lessons, because those experiences changed how I run my business, how I serve, how I rest. And I hope that you guys are listening to this, because these can all very much apply to your life, whether you're working with me or you're not. If my life is too heavy, if my grief is loud, if I am overwhelmed, I'm going to pause. I'm not going to show up half-assed. I'm not going to power through my feelings. I'm not going to perform healing, because I would never want someone to do that to me. And, after losing my sister-in-law in September and walking through the months of truly deep grief, I've really honored that boundary even more fiercely. And I worked in small little intentional pockets there following her death. I still had to work, right? Like, we have bills to pay, but I made sure it was those little small pockets. I created space around my sessions. I really let myself be human. And I knew, like, this past Christmas, like, this would be a really hard season. And so I actually took almost 2 full weeks off. Actually, it was more than 2 weeks. Completely off, because I knew that is what I needed. And I could see that ahead of time. And I just knew my body needed the grace, and I wasn't going to show up for my clients that way. And so I honor and respect my clients so much to know that they deserve my full presence, or not at all. So, like, this is who I am at my core. I'm not here to be your magic wand. I'm not Houdini. I am teaching you that you are. I'm here to show you the doors you already have the keys to help you hear your body, to trust your instincts, to reconnect with your soul's voice. And that voice is the most reliable one you will ever hear. Because when you rely on yourself, you are never abandoned. You're never without support. You are never lost. So if you ever work with me, whether once or many times, I want you to know this. I am here to walk with you. I'm not carrying you. I'm not replacing your inner knowing. You, my friend, are the healer. You are the wisdom. You are the magic. And my job, my greatest honor, is helping you remember that, guiding you, teaching you. And that is what I do for you. I'm teaching you how to hear that voice. If this resonates and you're curious about working together, you'll know when the timing feels right. Until next time, I hope that you find that voice that lies within you and you take the time, listen to it, and trust it. Because you, my friend, are the only one that truly knows what your body, your soul, your heart, your mind needs. I can't give that to you, but I can teach you. I can teach you how to get there. And I hope that you do. Thank you for tuning in and for doing this work, not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. If this episode stirred something in you, trust that. Share it, leave a review, Send it to someone whose soul needs it. Your voice and your ripple matter. And if you're ready to go deeper, to explore your past lives, heal your patterns, reconnect to your soul, or work with me one-on-one, head over to tuneintowellness.com or connect with me on Instagram. Until next time, trust what you feel, honor what you know, and remember, your soul already has the answers. Be bold, be light, be you. I'll see you next time on Soul Knowledge.